Good morning, class. There are 5 words on our whiteboard. Who can raise their hand and tell me what the first word is? This one here. Yes, the word is dig. Everyone, let's say the word out loud together and sound it out as we say it. D-ig. Dig. Who can say the next word? Yes, sit. Let's say it together. It. Sit. Who can tell me this word? Yes, it's been. Everyone, let's say it together again. B-in. Been. And let's practice these 2 words together. Let's send them out. M-is. M-is. Miss. And one of our side words. H-im. H-im. Him. Great job. Now, if you look at these words on this whiteboard, what do these words have in common as far as their vowel? Yes, what you see in these words is the short vowel I, which we sound out as I. And to designate that it's a short vowel, we make a little mark, which is called a breve, but you don't need to know that. And it's kind of like a half smile, or I would say it's like a smile without the face. Sounds good to me. Okay, so we're going to learn today a new vowel sound that incorporates the I, but it's the other sound of the I. Instead of the short vowel sound, it's the long vowel sound. Okay, and we're going to begin learning about that new sound through our read aloud called Isaac on the Farm by Cecilia Madden and Joanne Meyer. Okay? Isaac is visiting grandfather and grandmother. They live on a farm. Isaac likes to do many things on the farm. I'm not sure if I'd want to go visit my grandparents on the farm, but it might be kind of fun, don't you think? Okay. Isaac likes to climb trees. He can see for miles. Wow, he must be really high in that tree to see for miles. He sees the wide river. He sees the white clouds. Isaac rides on a tractor. The tractor has big tires. Anyone rode on a tractor before? Right. Sometimes you'll see them when you go through hay rides. But I think you would ride more on the bed of the trailer bed. I don't think I've ever rode on the tractor, but I have seen big tires. We've all seen big tires if you look at trucks on the freeway. Okay, so Isaac sits beside grandfather. They ride across the fields. Isaac helps grandmother make 5 pies. The pies are for the fair. I hope you win first prize, grandmother. I wonder what kind of pies she's going to make. Now I can't turn the page. Sorry about that. Okay. Grandmother gives Isaac some pie. Isaac takes a big bite. This is nice. He sure looks like he enjoys that pie. Here comes Ira. He lives next door. Let's play a game, says Isaac. We'll hide in the barn. So Isaac is our main character, and Ira is the dog. Right. He lives next door. Okay. What a good idea. They play all day. They have a good time on the farm. And that's the end of our story. Can anyone tell me why do we learn our vowels? Right, we learn our vowels, sorry, so we can read the words faster and become better readers. Now, if you remember when we learned the long vowel A and the long vowel E sounds, we learned that the long vowel sounds just like their name. And this is also true for the long vowel I. Long vowel I sounds like I. Now you try. Repeat after me. I. Great job. Besides the letter I, the long vowel I sound is also made when you see different letter spellings. For instance, if you look at this word here, bike, you will see that the I makes its long sound because of the E. Remember, we learned that the E at the end of the word is what we call a silent E or the bossy E. And it stays silent and makes the vowel before it say its name. So, for instance, the bossy E tells I, say your name, say your name. So it's bike, bike. Another combination that you might see is I and E next to each other. Again, because E is at the end and he's bossy, he tells I, say your name, say your name. So we say I says its name. And so we sound this word out as p-I, p-I, pie. You will also see I, or you will hear the sound I when you see the letters I next to the G and the H. G and the H walk next to the I, but like bossy E, they stay silent as they walk next to the I. The only difference is that they don't necessarily show up at the end of the word. For instance, in this word, you see a T. So sound out this word with me. Remember, G and H is going to stay silent. So we would sound it out as night, night. So there are different ways that we get the I sound. We get it with I, consonant E, I, E next to each other, and then the IGH. But I'm forgetting, boys and girls, there's one more. There's when the Y is at the end of a one-syllable word. And if you remember, one-syllable words are those words that we only have one clap. So for instance here, we have sky, sky, one syllable. If you see this Y at the end of a word that has more than one syllable, it doesn't make the I sound. So just to recap, or to remember what we said, you have your I sound when you see I consonant, or I, E, as we like to say. When I and E are together. When IGH is together, it says I. And then your Y at the end of the one syllable word will say I. If we look back at our book that we just read, let's go look at page 7, for instance. And I'm just going to read this line again to you. And I want you to listen for any words that you hear the long vowel I sound. And then I'll ask you to share with me what you've heard, okay? Isaac likes to climb trees. He can see 4 miles. What words did you hear or do you see on this page that have the long vowel I sound? The long I. Sorry guys, long vowel I sound. Isaac, right, Isaac. In the word likes, like, climb, yes, climb, and miles. Good job. Okay, if we go turn to another page, let's try this again. Y'all did a good job though. Let's look at, let's look at this page. Isaac rides on a tractor. The tractor has big tires. Where do you hear the long vowel I sound? Right. Isaac again rides and tires. Now there's also a short vowel I word on this page. Who heard it? Right. The short vowel I is big because you sound out its name. And long vowel I says I. I think you've gotten that part right. So I want you guys to go ahead and practice some words with me. We've said some of them, but let's see if we can practice just a little bit more. Okay, so this word here, let's sound it out. Remember, the G and the H, they stay silent as they walk next to I. So how do we sound this word out? We sound it out as L, I, T. We just cover that up like we don't see it. But you have to remember it's the I sound, not the I. We don't want to say lit because that would be just L-I-T. And here we have G-H, which tells us that that I is I, not I. Okay? So light, I, sky. Again, b-I-K, bike. P-I, pie. And then you have that G-H, silent G-H next to the I again. So you're going to say n-ite. Okay, here goes some more words. K-I-T. Remember, Bossy E is telling that I to say its name. Now, if Bossy E wasn't there, what would this word be? Sound it out. Right, it would be k-it, kit. But because Bossy is there, it changes that word to k-ite, kite. And that's important, guys, that you remember about the Bossy E. Because we won't always have pictures next to the word. Sometimes you'll just see the word and you'll have to sound it out. And you'll have to remember that Bossy E makes you say your name. Okay, this picture here is I'm, lime. And we have two more. Remember I-E, what happens? Right, Bossy E says say your name, I. So I, tie. And then this one is a one syllable word, one clap, and it's k-r-I, cry, cry. Good job. Kiss your brains. Okay, we're going to break off into our group activity. And in the group activity, you're going to be with your groups. You're going to sort out pictures that into two groups, into the short vowel I and to the long vowel I sounds. We're going to go through a anchor chart real quick just to remind you, and I'll place it to where everyone can see it to help guide you. Remember, short vowels sound out their letter. I. Sound short vowels. I. Long vowels say your name. They say their name. I. Long vowels. Okay? Now, I'm sorry. Back in your group work, you're going to sort your pictures into two different groups, the short vowels and the long vowels. When I see that you have sorted the word sorts accurately, then you're going to go to your desk. As I dismiss you, you'll go to your desk and you're going to sort words out. Now this is different from your group work because your group work, you're sorting out pictures. And in your individual work, you're going to sort out the words. So you may have to sound those words out so that you can hear the I sound. And then once I've noticed that you have done that correctly, or if we need to talk more about it, you'll go ahead and write those words in your journal. You'll create 2 columns. It'll just be like this. You'll just say short vowels, long vowels, and you'll write your words into your student journals. And this way, by writing it, it'll help you remember how to say those words. And remember, when we know these, we become better readers. We've been learning with Miss Arsenault different songs with our vowels. So before I let you go, we're going to go ahead and do the song that we've been learning with Miss Arsenault. Are you ready, boys and girls? Okay, great. So remember, it's the long I. Long I goes up in the air, okay? So long I, remember this is the I. Long I, long I. I, I, I. I says I. Y says I. Good job. E says I. E says I. IGH says I. Long I, long I. Great job. Okay, you can go ahead and break off into your groups.